I am in such a good mood right now. I just received an update about the puppy that I'm getting in a few weeks. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram and you don't know that whole story, definitely follow me on there. It just kind of fell into my lap. My neighbor at my old house with my mom, his mother's dog had puppies and it just worked out. I just got a picture of him, so I'll put that right there to make you guys feel better. Whatever you're going through, I'm sure this space can make you feel better for about 10 seconds. But in today's video, it's going to be super casual. I'm just going to sit here and kind of talk. If you are, planning on doing something today, like your laundry or cleaning or doing anything like that, feel free to have this on in the background. You don't have to be watching the screen. I won't be putting up a lot of imagery. It's going to kind of be like a podcast, but if you want to join me, you can grab a cup of coffee or tea and we'll just sit down and have a chat, because I want to talk about how to talk to yourself when you're feeling stuck in life and you don't feel like things are manifesting the way you want, and you feel like you are having these patterns, these cyclical situations that just keep happening that are preventing you from manifesting the things you want in your life. So I took Mia Magic's Witch School. I'm gonna make a video about that eventually. I'm still working on it. But she often says that our words are spells. And it's so true, because everything that you say and think about yourself, you are basically creating a self-fulfilling prophecy for your life. Now, you guys know, if you watch my videos, how I feel about the difference between the law of attraction and manifestation. I definitely prefer to use the term manifestation, because the law of attraction, as it's taught in books like The Secret and the Law of Attraction by Esther Hicks, it's often portrayed very simply, as if you just have to change your thought patterns. But the true work that comes within breaking down these patterns is through inner child healing, which I recently did a video on, which you can watch here. I get very emotional in it because I'm showing you the exact process of what I'm going through to break down those belief systems, and it works like a charm. I can always see my life doing a 180 after I do inner child healing. That is a huge part of manifestation. But today we're going to be talking about how to change your thought patterns and how to become aware of them. So the first thing that you need to do when you are trying to break through this habit of negative self-talk is, first of all, realize when you're doing it and realize what's being said. I don't know about you, I don't know if all our brains are the same, but when I'm going about my day, even if I'm having a conversation with somebody, there's always this underlying self-talk, this conversation that's happening in the background, and I can sometimes tune into it. But when you become aware of it, that's when the progress starts to happen. So what you do is you're going to write down the thoughts that you have. It can be like, I totally messed up earlier today. I can't believe I did that. I'm so stupid. I'm so embarrassing. That was so embarrassing. How could I mess up what I just said? I'm such a failure. Nobody listens to me. And what will happen is, once you do this for a week or two, you'll start to realize that these thoughts, even if there's 100 thoughts, they will break down into just a couple, maybe 10 or 5 belief systems that you have about yourself. Remember that our bodies are built for survival. Our thought patterns are meant to protect us from a wild tiger. If a wild tiger is coming at you, your brain is going to be like, oh my God, I'm not safe. I have to hide. This is so scary. I have to protect myself. But now that tiger is not there necessarily, but it's you posting on Instagram and you're not getting the likes you want, and you're thinking, oh my God, nobody likes me, nobody listens to me, I have to, delete this, I'm not safe. It's very strange how, our minds are still trying to protect us, but it's definitely doing more harm than good, because it's not necessarily needed in these moments anymore. So Dr. Sharon Irvine, I think that's how you pronounce her name, she did a presentation in one of the courses that I was doing a long time ago, and it was very inspiring. She basically says that our brain takes over the automation of 80 to 90% of our daily actions and decisions that are pre-programmed automatic processing. You're like, Courtney, what the heck does that mean? Basically, 80 to 90% of your day is run by these thoughts. They're in your subconscious mind. They're these stories that you have about yourself that are constantly running your life. Those are these self-fulfilling prophecies that our words are driving for us. So if you leave these stories untouched, they will block you from the success that you want in your life and the relationships you want in your life and the happiness and fulfillment that we all want in our lives. So everything that we want for ourselves, every potential that is out there in the world, we have the power to achieve that within ourselves. We have that power, that strength to do it. It's like you have your foot on the gas pedal and you're going towards your goal. You're going full speed towards your goal, and your stories you tell about yourself, your automatic programming in your brain are these negative self-talk stories that you have, and it's on the brake. So what you're doing is you're going straight towards your goal, but these thought patterns are pressing down on the brake, causing you to just go in circles. So if you find yourself going in circles in life, like you're going towards where you want to go, but nothing is really happening, look at why. So first we have to figure out what the beliefs are, which we just did, right? We wrote them all down, we have our notes, and we've narrowed it down to a few stories that we tell about ourselves. We have to remember that these beliefs are usually formed when we're kids. Our brains are like sponges when we're children, so we're absorbing everything that's coming at us, and it really shapes how we view ourselves and how we view the world and our place in it. So this is why I always recommend doing inner child healing, because we have to really rewire our brain, retell ourselves the stories that we've been taught about ourselves and our world and our place in it, and figure out what the truth actually is and what we want to believe about ourselves. So for example, I remember when I was really young, whenever I wanted to say something, it would come up in my mind and I would just tap somebody and be like, oh my God, I have to say this. And I remember my parents would always be like, I'm speaking. And because, like she's talking to somebody else. I had an idea, I really wanted to say it, and I would just always be shut down because, no, I'm an adult, I'm speaking, which, I respect. I took that as a belief that people don't want to hear what I have to say, or I'm always overlooked. I remember even like when I would be with my sister and her friends at the pool, I'd want to have fun with them and just have a good time. And I ended up always getting laughed at. I have this one very traumatic memory that it definitely affected me. And this kind of pattern kept happening year after year because I began to tell myself like people don't care what I have to say. And I became shy and I never really vocalized anything. I remember in high school, I used to think like, I would try to have a conversation with people and they would just not even look at me. I was like, am I a ghost? I am a ghost. Like, there's no way I'm a human. Like, people are not acknowledging my existence. Like, what is wrong with me? And it became this belief inside myself that nobody cares what I have to say. Nobody's listening. What I have to say isn't important. It doesn't matter. People are going to laugh at me. So another example is if a child loves art and they are drawing all the time and they believe that they're a wonderful artist, all it takes is one adult to look at them and be like, that's terrible. All it takes is that for her to change that belief about how great she is to how terrible of an artist she is, and then never draw again. So we all have these stories that we tell ourselves, so many of them, and we're gonna talk about how to kind of break those down, combat them, and how to optimize your words for your desired reality. So again, becoming conscious of what we're playing in our brain at all times. What's going on? What are these beliefs that we have about ourselves? So this reminds me a lot about this story called The Two Wolves. It says, one evening an old Cherokee told his grandson about a battle that goes on inside people. He said, "My son, the battle is between two wolves inside us all. One is evil. It is angry, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, which wolf wins? And the Cherokee simply replied, the one you feed. And I always think about that all the time, because we can become overcome by this negativity. We can become these stories that we tell ourselves. It becomes our self-fulfilling prophecy, but it depends on which wolf you feed. Are you feeding the positive side of yourself? Are you feeding the beautiful aspects of yourself and becoming your dreams? Or are you truly believing this automated process that's going on in our brains and living out this life that's not fulfilling to you? So if you narrow down these thoughts and narrow down that root belief, or even better yet, you just sit with yourself and try to find that root cause of where this belief comes from and where it's formed, that is where you can overcome the belief and reprogram that automation process so much easier. Because if I were to have this belief, which I do, that no one listens to me, my voice doesn't matter, if I were to do what the law of attraction says and try just switching it up to the positive version of I am heard, my voice matters, it doesn't hold any weight because there's no emotion behind it. That's where I struggle with the law of attraction versus manifestation. We have to go back to the root cause of where that belief comes from. So you're going to sit with yourself in meditation and try to go back to that root. So I would go back to the moment where I was basically told to stop talking, and the situation that I had, like the memory I have where I was laughed at. And I would have to sit with myself and really try to talk to my inner child and be like, no, you're okay. Like, this is just a moment in time. Like, you are heard. Your voice does matter. Like, you have to say those affirmations to the memory that caused it. So when you're writing down those beliefs in your notes about what's going on in the back of your mind, the chatter that's constantly there, you're going to come up with the situation that you think was the start of it. Where did this originate from? What childhood experience can I think of that may have caused this belief or made me feel this way about myself? Once you find that, you're going to do this inner journey. You're going to meet with that self, that part of you, and just have a conversation, being that wise person from the future, that wise, you can even imagine yourself as like a loving parent, a loving grandparent, your higher self, whatever this wise person you want to embody. Talk to that inner child, give them a hug, give them the love that they want in that moment and what they're craving to hear. Even though you're kind of rewriting the past, your brain can't decipher the difference between fact and fiction and what hasn't happened and what has happened. It all lives within the subconscious mind. So as you're rewriting these memories and as you're holding this really intense emotion about it, like you may get really angry, you may scream or cry or sob like I was, you might be really upset when you're in this journey, but because you see yourself with this inner child, you feel empathy for them. This moment is where the key for manifesting and changing those thought patterns lies. So when you come out of this journey and you show that child love and affection and safety, then you start to change the way you think and speak. It becomes better, it becomes softer, it becomes more loving. And this is the perfect time to utilize affirmations. I just quickly wanted to thank Self-Pause for sponsoring today's video. I never ever accept sponsorships, but I wanted to accept this one because I utilize this app. It helps me so much, and it's something I know can help you guys too, especially if you've made it this far into this video. You want to hear what are good ways to rewire your brain. This is an amazing app to help you with that. So Self-Pause is a positive affirmation and visualization app that has thousands of professionally recorded affirmations for you to utilize and listen to. So the one I listen to the most is in the self-love section called Being Enough, because as I told you guys, I'm trying to really work through that belief of I'm not heard, which ultimately comes down to I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I don't matter. So that affirmation recording has been really helpful for me. Another section of the app I use more than anything is the one where you can create your own affirmations. You can record your own voice saying the affirmations and have it loop. And I think that's so powerful. That's more powerful than listening to somebody else because it's your voice. Your subconscious is going to hear your own voice. So whatever it is that you are trying to manifest or trying to rewire in your brain, after you've done the whole inner child healing, you can come up with the opposite of that belief that you have. Like if it's I'm not worthy, I am enough, and rewrite the story and have it in your own voice and just play it. And you can go on walks and play it. And I think that is so beautiful. That's what I've been doing. I've been going on walks, listening to myself with these affirmations, and it's been so helpful. But if you're watching this video and you're looking for some recommendations that could help you, there are definitely affirmations for self-love, happiness, personal growth, confidence, relationships. All of these I think can really help our belief systems that really drive our daily lives. So if you're looking for a section on the app that could really help you and your automation processes, these would definitely be beneficial to you. So if you're interested in trying it out for yourself, you can click the link in the description box. I highly recommend it. So the more you start to say positive things about yourself, the more you can practice speaking positively about yourself in other areas of your life. This is how you can start to really break that cycle that has been causing you to spin in circles this whole time. Like if you're trying to manifest something, but you have that belief that's holding you back, you're going to spin in circles. But slowly, you'll start to see yourself straighten out a little bit and kind of go right towards that path that you've been trying for so long. Trust me, I have been there. I'm working through it, and I am just now seeing everything unfold. But I did kind of want to talk about the difference between manifesting and, doing the work and the law of attraction and just, changing the way you speak. So all you have to do is start somewhere, break the cycle, even if it is just getting introduced to the law of attraction and, starting to speak better about yourself. That's amazing. That's truly how I was able to come out of such a difficult time in my life, was by using the law of attraction, the one that I don't really like anymore. But I started my spiritual journey in 2014. I was the most depressed I'd ever been in my life. I did not want to live anymore. I was severely depressed, and the law of attraction was basically my last resort. I started to have a fear of thinking negatively because I did not want to continue down the path that I was on. I started thinking, I'm going to keep bringing this negativity into my life if I keep thinking these negative thoughts. So I do owe the law of attraction for getting me out of that tough time. I really do. But it took me 5 years to rewire my brain just by thinking positively. Whereas I feel like I could definitely rewire my brain much faster if I knew how to do the inner child healing at the same time. For example, I would wake up every morning in 2014 and say, I'm so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful to live in this beautiful city. But that was painful. That was really hard for me to say because I didn't believe it. I didn't want to be alive. I didn't like living in the city at that time. And trying to rewire my brain that way took 4.5, 5 years to work. But it eventually snowballs. So it does work, but it takes a lot more time. Because if you're just, like I said, I think I said this like so many times in this video, if you have a thought and you are just going to say the opposite, you have to go through the habit process. You have to create that as if it's a habit. And it takes a lot of conscious effort to do that. And I promise you that if you don't know where to start and you feel like you're lying to yourself when you say these positive things and you're tired of people online making it seem like by just saying positive things is going to change your life in a month, like have these amazing success stories with the law of attraction in 1 month, it's not realistic with the way that people are teaching it. But I promise you that if you start somewhere and you do what I'm saying in this video, you find the belief, you find where it originates from, and you go on a journey through meditation to that moment where that belief was formed, and then you create affirmations for it, you will do a 180 with your life. It won't be super fast. It will take a little time. You have to keep working for it, but it will happen much faster than what anybody else will say about thinking positively and speaking positively into the universe. This is because you'll actually start to believe the things you're telling yourself, because you created that subconscious seed. You planted that seed in your In your memory, remember, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. It just remembers that that seed is there, you planted it, and you have to water it with these affirmations and the continuous positive self-talk that comes afterwards. So you're watering the seed, you're not feeding the one wolf that is evil and nasty. You're feeding the wolf that is positive and loving and good. This is the whole point of this video. Consistent thoughts that you have over time, when combined with an emotion, become a belief. This is when it becomes solid in your subconscious, which then, as we know, controls 80 to 90% of the automation process. So then it becomes a part of us. It becomes the story that we tell ourselves. It's a part of our identity. And because we're sitting with ourselves, we're going within and we are creating that emotional response and that emotional experience and combining it with the thought, and it becomes the belief. We are speeding up that process so much faster than if you gradually had to create this emotional experience through affirmations and positive phrases. So combining these together is what will help you. I promise, I know it. So let me know if you have any questions. I am here for you guys. I just want to inspire you to go within and discover that magic that you have within yourself and the magic that you can create in your external reality by what is going on inside. I love you so much from the bottom of my heart. Like, I love my community so much, and I want to just help you guys achieve the best lives you possibly can have, and I know you're capable of it. I believe in you, and I want you to leave a comment on this video if you made it to the end, telling me something you love about yourself. Let me know if you enjoy this type of just sit down content, kind of like a podcast, if you want me to make more of these, or if you enjoy more of the produced content. I really want to know, and I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye.